Hi guys, Mitchell Coleman here. I am an alcoholic, and I've got your daily reflections today, and I'm also going to read out of the 24 hours a day book because there's two really good things in there today in the meditation of the day. Really like these ones. So this comes from the Daily Reflections book. This is a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. And today is April 9th, and this one is called Freedom from King Alcohol. Let us not suppose even for an instant that we are not under constraint. Our former tyrant, King Alcohol, always stands ready again to clutch us to him. Therefore, freedom from alcohol is the great must that has to be achieved, else we go mad or die. That comes from As Bill Sees It, page 154, and it continues. When drinking, I lived in spiritual, emotional, and sometimes physical confinement. I constructed my prison with bars of self-will and self-indulgence, from which I could not escape. Occasional dry spells that seemed to promise freedom would turn out to be little more than hopes of a reprieve. True escape required a willingness to follow whatever right actions were needed to turn the lock. With that willingness and action, both the lock and the bars themselves opened for me. Continued willingness and action keep me free, in a kind of extended daily probation that need never end. Wow, that one's way good because, I have these days, I think we all have these days where we're riding the pink cloud, we're all doing good, and we're in our sobriety, and we're like, man, this is just wonderful. And sometimes they could last very short because I've had some where it's like, I drank so much the night before that I was physically kind of sick for the next day or two, and then you feel good again. You're like, man, I feel great. This is so good. Like, I don't want to drink ever again. Then you're kind of like, I feel great. I want to go drink again. It's the whole insanity that comes along with being an addict. You know how gross you felt, but once you're feeling good again, you're just ready to go drink again, and that's how the addiction is, and that's why they call him King Alcohol. There was also a man that I had known that he would use the metaphor of like, he's waiting outside for him, sitting on his car, smoking a cigarette. This is King Alcohol I'm talking about. And he would come out from wherever he was, wherever he is in that day, and just look at him and say, not today. And then King Alcohol would say, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. And that's totally what it is. I just love that a lot because it's so cool. As strong as we are in our sobriety, that is why they say it's one day at a time, because we get this what do they say, an extended daily probation. It's a one day at a time program, and a lot of people say 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 second at a time sometimes, because I am always going to be an alcoholic, and to each their own. Some people want to say I'm no longer an alcoholic, and I can't argue that. Some people are different. I just know for me, I just have to keep that humility in my mind that I am a problem drinker. I can never go back to drinking. It just is what it is, and life is beautiful, and the promises that they read, they all start coming true. My life is doing so good right now. I'm just so happy, and I owe it all to my higher power, and I owe it all to my program, because this is very important, my sponsor. So this one's really good. It says, I lived in a spiritual, emotional, and sometimes physical confinement. And that's so true as well, because I wasn't even connected with my higher power then. I felt it, when I was out drinking, using, and it was almost a feeling of guilt and embarrassment because I knew I was doing wrong. And I think we all know that, especially when you try to go back to it again, it's not as fun as you thought it would be, because the more you quit and go back, it gets worse each time, and you got to be careful, because that's what can lead to death or jails, institutions, all that. But this one's really good, so let's not forget that King Alcohol is always waiting for us. We have to take our steps careful. We have to work our program, be honest with ourselves, and that's that. Oh, hold on. This door is annoying as hell. Okay, back again. And now I'm going to read from the, this is April 9th, from the 24 Hours a Day book. Thought for the day. Third, alcoholics recover their proper relationship with other people. They think less about themselves and more about others. They try to help other alcoholics. They make new friends so that they're no longer lonely. They try to live a life of service instead of selfishness. All their relationships with other people are improved. They solve their personality problems by recovering their personal integrity, their faith in a higher power, and their way of fellowship and service to others. Is my drink problem solved as long as my personality problem is solved? And the meditation for the day is all that depresses you, all that you fear is really powerless to harm you. These things are but phantoms, so arise from earth's bonds, from depression, distrust, fear, and all that hinders your new life. Arise to beauty, joy, peace, and work inspired by love. Rise from death to life. You do not even have to fear death. All past sins are forgiven if you live in love and work with God. Let nothing hinder your new life. Seek to know more and more of that new way of living. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may let God live in me as I work for him. I pray that I may go out into the sunlight and work with God. Amen. This is what it's all about as well, helping other people. And we start to think less about ourselves. That's the reason I like doing this right here. I just had a friend message me saying, are you going to do the daily reflections today? And that's the cool stuff, just having these people that you can talk to and you have this connection with now. And really, we all help each other, because that helped me a lot. Just recently, two of my cousin and my aunt have sent me messages, and they brought me to tears, because hearing them say how proud they are and see that I've gotten it, and seeing these videos is so cool, because my aunt in particular was like, I could see it in your eyes, and I am just so happy for you. And that's that spiritual awakening they talk about, and that's when it clicks, when you know, man, you got it, and you're like, wow, that's so cool, because it's hard I can feel it, but we've all said sorry, and I've changed so many times before, and to see, to hear that from someone else is the best feeling, because I know it in my soul and in my heart that I have changed, but to know that it's actually reflecting out to other people is such a good feeling, and I'm very excited. It's kind of like working out, you don't see the difference because it's kind of a slow, gradual process, and that's kind of like what I was talking about in another video with patience, because patience is so cool, because you work hard at it every day. You're working at it, and then the results there, and it takes a little gradual amount of time, but when it's there, and it's so cool, because that feeling of satisfaction is so good, knowing that you stayed dedicated and committed throughout it all. Same with growing a plant, same with working out, and definitely the same with your program and your connection with your higher power, because I am so happy. I spent some time meditating today, and it just feels so good, because if you don't do that, you could start to feel a little distant. It's good to get in that connection. Same with the COVID-19 virus right now. I was getting a little depressed because I'm not being able to go to my meetings. And I really can still go, I guess. It's just kind of dangerous right now, but you could do online meetings. And also, we got meditation of the day, where it said, all that depresses you, all that you fear is really powerless to harm you. That's so true, because it's just thoughts, and that's also where I've said we need to focus on changing our thought patterns. So when I'm sitting there, used to doing something for my whole life, that's what my brain will automatically go to, when we say things like, I'm dumb, I'm stupid, our whole lives, our brain doesn't care. It goes, you're dumb. It goes straight to it, because that's what it's been programmed to do, because it is just a computer, and we are in control of that computer. So even if, say I'm not driving right now, I'm now looking at it like, not as a punishment. There's certain things I need to do to be able to drive again. So I'm just changing my thought process of saying, this is what anyone has to do to drive. And then I look at it in a way different light, like, oh, this isn't a bad thing. This is just what I need to do. And, this video is going pretty long here, but I just wanted to say, yeah, if we could change our thought process on things, sit, meditate on it, and be like, why am I really doing this? Why am I letting these feelings capture my whole physical being right now? Why am I being so sad and so depressed and lethargic and not wanting to move because I'm letting anxiety and depression hold me like a vice? And I don't need that anymore. I need to just accept things for what they are and change what I can. And the fear of death is gone because, you know, life is beautiful depending on your ideology. This isn't it. So I think we're here to learn, and this is a good learning experience, and this is where we could show our love to our higher power and to other people, because that is what life is really all about, is love, honesty, respect, and helping others. But either way, I love all you guys, and thank you again. I just want to always help, and I hope you guys all do the same, and we all pay it forward and spend some time and talk to your higher power today, even if it's just for a few seconds in your mind. Don't forget that your higher power is there. And I love you guys, one day at a time. Have a good day. Bye.